Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the V8 Vets, brought to you by RaceKraft Simulations. This is Split 4, coming to you tonight from Algarve. I am John Van Ree. With me in the chat, I've got Mark Dial. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, mate.
It's going to be a very interesting one. I know it's not our usual Friday night, but there's already still a few views out there watching, so good evening to everybody out in the chat as well. Just going to start by having a look at the track map here at Algarve, and it is basically a tough little undulating circuit, and we start on the start-finish straight and then head down the hill into turn 1, otherwise known as the Primera corner, where we flick through the dog leg at 2 and then into Lagos down at the lakes there at the bottom, and then come back up the hill through turn 4, spot catching a lot of guys out, and then we come over the crest down into Torvips, where we take the MotoGP layout this time and not the GP layout, so we don't run all the way down into the tight hairpin. It's more of the sweeping corner. We come up past the water tank and then head through turn 7 and 8 into Samsung, and then we sweep down the hill into Craig Jones, up into Portimão corner, and then over the crest into 11, where we then go downhill again, sweeping through turn 12 and up to the top of the crest at 13. And then we come around the hard sweeping Sarge's corner into the long sweeper at Galp, and then back down the hill on the start-finish straight. Got to say, Mark, Portimão is a very, very tricky little circuit to drive.
That it sure is.
Yeah.
I had difficulties in a few corners there, and especially up over the hill. Wasn't much fun either.
Yeah, I think we might see if you guys caught out this evening. We just have to sit back and watch. BG36 can ask if veterans only for no, it's not. It's veterans in terms of age is what we're talking about. So all the drivers in this league are over 40. And the average age of the league for those playing along at home is actually 51. So yeah, it's veterans in terms of age limit. We're not ex-service people. Just letting you know that one. Let's have a quick look at the championship standings as we go into round 9. So these are the points after round 8. Of course, Uren was MIA last week, but the drop rounds have been applied here, both of them. And Matty Munday is only 17 points behind. So Munday still within striking distance with 2 rounds to go. Boyce is a further 5 points behind Munday. Jeff Sanford just hanging on outside the podium. I know player 1 with their force in this split would love to get someone on that podium. And then we have Phil Whiting sitting in 5th, John Van Ree in 6th, Dave Holly in 7th, Shane Patterson in 8th, Brad Hayes in 9th, and 10th is rounded out by Ross Watson. Neil Waters in 11th. So definitely still a lot to play for. This is the last race we can drop, bearing in mind the final race next week. Well, this week at Bathurst, you cannot drop. So this is everything to play for here for a lot of these guys, and we'll see how they go with that. And what we'll do now is we'll have a very quick look at the grid. Of course, haven't seen any information on this, so we'll see how everybody went. And on pole, of course, is our championship leader, Russell Uren, lining up alongside the man who is second in the championship, Matthew Munday. Brad Hayes from Apex Esports League sitting in 3rd on the 2nd row with John Lee from Passion Sim Racing. So John getting himself right up at the pointy end. That is great to see. And then we come back to Glenn Boyce from SAR on the 3rd row, and he lines up alongside Daniel Schaefer from Oman Racing. On the 4th row, Ross Watson from Misfits Racing lines up alongside Peter Wilkinson from Locked On Lads Racing. On the 5th row, we see Shane Patterson from Nova Sim Sports lining up alongside Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons. 6th row, we've got Rob Baxter from Coast to Coast, and he partners up with Passion Sim Racing's Phil Whiting. So the Passion boys getting a few in the 6th rows. In the 7th row, we've got Sean Slater from Henry James, and he lines up alongside my favourite Dutchman, Greg Sholton. He's sitting there on that 7th row. On the 8th row is Craig Rose from Quantum Racing in 15th, and he lines up alongside the player 1 El Supremo, Neil Waters. On the 9th row is Stephen Luckhurst from Southern Cross Racing, and he lines up alongside Oman Racing's Glenn Wilbo. And then we go to the 10th row where we've got Vaughan Robinson, the privateer, lining up alongside player one's Dave Holly. And then we go to the 11th row where we've got Dave Baldock from Dave 37 Racing WKMP, and he lines up alongside Anita Buckland from Old Mates and Sons. Great to see Anita up the list quite high. And then we have in 23rd Adam St John from Full Bore Racing, and he lines up alongside player one's Tim Hall. And then over the page we have Jason Thomas from Apex Esports League, and he lines up alongside Darren Vermey. Chris Blanchard is our head race controller. And then we have the guys that didn't set a time in Braden O'Loughlin from Frog Leap Juiced Racing. Jeff Sanford did not set a time. I am blown away by that. That is the man currently sitting 4th in the championship, starting at the back. Lucas Burt is our safety car driver. Tim Vermey didn't set a time. Lucas Neal is our number 2 race controller. And then we have Gunther von Nordsleif with no time, Phil Marsh with no time, and David Logsdale with no time. So interesting grid looking there, Mark.
It is. It's quite a mix up.
Yeah, Sanford at the back, that's a bit of a worry. I was thinking this could be Sanford's night to put the pressure on Boyce and Munday. Munday has to have a good race to get himself going.
Yeah, he does.
It's quickly right
good
there.
to see John Lee up there too. It must be one of his highest qualifying.
I think so. I think John's done really well. And just to answer your question in the chat there, I wouldn't say retired from full-time sim racing pros. They've just retired from racing with the young people. That's probably the easiest way to explain it, wouldn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. But moving along, we might as well light the wick on this one and get it started.
Yep.
4 splits of 35 is pretty big. Yeah, we basically have the next season already 190 signed up, so we've got 10 spots available for next season. So, yeah, it is pretty big fields, pretty big splits, probably one of the biggest iRacing leagues, active leagues in Australia, particularly in the V8s. Let's light the wick on this one and get it started, Mark.
Yep, let's go.
That is a good start from Uran. A couple of slow moves in the back. Looks like Anita. Uran's going to get the jump on Munday. Munday coming down on the inside there. He's going to hold out Hayes. And Munday has a little bit of look coming into Lagos, but no, it's all going to be okay, I think. Uran going to hold on. So Uran, Hayes look like they've got a reasonable start. We'll just keep an eye on Hayes here. Sitting back there, will he put some pressure on Munday? He's having a bit of a run. Looking down the hill. Coming into Reveps. Oh, he's been tapped out. Not sure who that was. And a bit more in the background. That looks like Friend. Pado's been squeezed. Cars off everywhere. That is
race control.
A bit of chaos going on in there as we get that settled. Jumping back up the front. Uren up over the crest and driving through up towards Portimão corner. And he's got a reasonable gap already on a few of the boys. Ross Watson, the big mover. Schaefer, the big mover. These two guys up 3 spots in this first lap. Boyce looking there to try and make a little bit of a move in that as well. And definitely starting to settle in. Looking for Rob Baxter. Not sure what's happened to Rob. He's coming out of the weeds there. I think he might have been involved in something with Baldock. A little bit happening on that first lap.
I see, I've lost him. Braden's up 12. And Gunther's up 14.
O'Loughlin, Braden, he's doing relatively well, running the livery. It's running a livery for this week's Bathurst round. Of course, the final round we run in these Gen 2 cars. Next season, we are in the Gen 3s. It is. Been promised for a long time. So Lachlan up 12. He's doing all right. Putting a bit of pressure on Rose. And Hayes in the background there trying to make a bit of a move as well. Plenty of action amongst this group. It's come a little bit wide. He's having a look on the outside. Lachlan up the inside, a little bit hot. That's connected in there. That's another one. So a few boys been caught out already in this first couple of corners. Sorry, in turn 5, as Bruce McLeod jumps in and joins us. How are you, Bruce?
Good. Self?
Yeah, not too bad. So, yeah, Sholton, he's up 5 spots, sitting in 9th. So we might stay with this group a little bit. These guys are a little bit racy at the moment. So Sholton has his former teammate behind him in Waters. A little bit loose there in the background from Friend. He manages to gather it up. As we head up the hill now. We get around the corner. So Friend keeping in control. Wilbo losing a spot there to Luckhurst. In the meantime, Uran has cleared out on Munday. And coming around the corner, Uran leads us through into lap 3.
A handy lead.
Very handy lead. Driving well. Been working very hard. Raced his first Scots race at Sandown the other week, teaming up with Michael Stewart. A little bit of an eye-opener for him, but represented himself quite well.
Nothing like jumping in at the very, very, very deep end from a very high diving board.
Enduros, why not? These boys here are a little bit racy.
Enduros are definitely a good way to start. That's how I got into the supercar, was the Bathurst 1000 special event.
I think the hard part was getting him his blipping sorted.
Oh, no auto blip.
Yeah, no auto blip at Scott's level. But did well. Had been working on it, just needed to fine tune it. Sean Slater a bit racy here. Some interesting lines coming up, of course, through that Portimão corner. One of the interesting things are the undulation of this circuit going up and over the crest makes it real hard. As we might just drop back a little bit.
Yeah, so with this car, I find that I leave auto blip on as a backup more than anything else, and I definitely do a bit of a hybrid technique. So if I really want to use some engine braking, I'll manually blip. But the main reason why I use auto blip as opposed to exclusively just manual blipping is because if you want to jump in another car, I find myself blipping in cars that don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't jump in any other car.
Just probably wait to have auto blip turned on.
I wouldn't mind doing a little bit more GT3. Yeah, might try and find some time next season over that.
Yeah, so for me, I think next season will be supercars or LMP2 because the prototypes are so fundamentally different. It's interesting. And they're really good. Sort of then for the Enduro, so yes, there will be some GT3 for the Bathurst.
And our first victim of the night at turn 4. You boys did mention that there was a bit of fun in that area as we jump back on. A bit of side-by-side racing.
Yeah. For me, I like to short shift from that corner in this car and just sacrifice a bit of the pace just to make sure that you're not burning the tyres up. And doing that.
Trolley the feeder series is Porsche Cup. No feeder series for vets, I know that much.
Stops the feeder series?
It is at the moment. Another Pro Series driver inquiring about vets this evening.
I was going to say there is a feeder series. It's called Race Control.
Yeah, it is. Great spot to start. Brad Hayes in the chat as well. A couple of good racing groups here.
The inquiry you had tonight with the driver telling him he can do race control for a couple of seasons.
Well, I did suggest Mark if you recall.
3 wide.
Only 3 wide with one end. That's like 3.5 wide.
Wilbo in the
Yeah.
background here. This is getting hairy.
That's brave. That's very brave. Is that a Red Bull livery I see?
No, that's a Mustang North Queensland livery.
I was going to say from my small screen. Oh, that's a carbon copy of the lap before.
Yep. Just going to jump up with Ross Watson. He's under pressure from Boise still. This is the battle, and that is Munday.
It's happening everywhere.
Munday again makes a mistake. That is, wow. Sitting second in the championship. He's just lost himself 2 spots to Watson and Boyce.
Well, the reason why this track is back on the calendar is because people voted for it. So
it's a good track.
Yeah, it's a good track. I think it's interesting. There's definitely some cars that suits better than the V8. I think there's a bit of a handful, but especially for me, I could never get turn 1, turn 2 right. Always come a bit too hot with my limited laps. But no, I think I really like about this is the undulation. And this year, right, it's the how much of my fronts am I going to burn? How do I get it to hook in? And work around the understeer. Is this?
Oh, 3 wide. That's the warning. Quinta quite racy here. Boys behind. Holly, Thomas, Hall, O'Loughlin, Marsh are all in striking distance to these 2. So, of course...
You're out for a 4-second lead at the front, so he's just slowly walking away with it.
Going wide again. So, answer BG36 question, yeah. Split 4 in Vets is actually the feeder series to split 1. Or by 2 and 3. We all race the same cars on the same tracks. The same rules. Just as your driving standard and driving skills improve, you work your way up the list. And there's a few other guys.
Do they? You sure about that statement, John?
Some work their way up. Oh, hang on to it. That is Shelton there in the grass again.
Your lap times come down, but I don't know about the reason why I joke is because of the size of the split 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, the pen sheet compared to the split 2-1. Boys in split 3 have been very good.
I think Roy Clark might disagree with that from last week.
Yeah. Oh, there's always pockets.
But as I said, he left the door open, so...
Yep, door's open. Got to walk in.
So you kicked it in, eh? Like,
Oh, I kicked it in. And then gave him something to work for the rest of the race, yeah?
yeah.
Proved his racecraft. So he should be thanking me for it.
Yeah.
So Phil Whiting now under a bit of pressure from Phil Wilkinson. There's still some battling. Whiting up 6 spots. He's driving really well. Watson up 5 in second. Munday dropped 2 seconds off that pack there already.
I'll be really keen to look at the championship standings just to see how it's looking like going into the big one next week, or this week actually.
This week, the big Enduro, the 300k race at Bathurst.
Look at the track map, it's very tight, the field. There's definitely not that spread out at this stage. I know we're still in lap 7, but it's still fairly tight. With like a little, especially that mid to back pack that
Definitely all happening. Sort of go back to that Neil Waters group, Glenn Wilbo, Sean Slater in the thick of it as well. Might just jump on with Slater. Those two boys in front of him. Waters trying to get a move done here. Gets it done on Wilbo. Nice move. Wilbo off the curb.
Put into the trees.
Oh, it was almost going orbital.
Because we know how that ends up for green, the old green stuff.
Oh, yeah. The forest elbow.
Yep. Palmetto Hills. Potential green.
And, oh, what's he done? He's going, oh, no. That is Waters. Waters loses it. Down at Tory Vip.
I think well avoided by Sean. If we could get a replay, that'd be an interesting one to watch, but we cannot.
No, we can't, unfortunately. And Choice is running replays. Breaks that group up a little bit. Just going to drop back. Tim Hall still chasing down. And I think,
The
yeah.
irony of that is not lost on me that you can't do a replay when you're watching a replay.
Yeah. I just love the different lines everybody uses coming up through Portimão.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's just crazy. I've done a couple of races here and I still haven't got a consistent line through that. That's it. 3 races. It's crazy.
Definitely battling away. Let's check on our mate Pato. Under a bit of pressure from Hazy, trying to recover from that start, side by side, down into turn 1. Through Primera.
That's a nice move.
Nice move.
Nice entry, I should say. Speaking of Mr. Baldock, who's he at the moment?
Waters in the lane. Baldock is back, who is a few seconds behind Anita. He's got a bit of work to do, of course, involved in that lap 1 turn. While talking to Mr. Baldock, a huge thank you for the replay file. As Waters is in, Gunter is in, Tim Hall is in. So starting to see the first of our 2 compulsory pit stops being taken by a few of the cars. We asked that the number 17 green livery be banned from a Holden at Bathurst.
I agree. Absolutely.
Just trying to think. You got me thinking now out loud. Please hold caller.
Well, I had the Glen Seaton livery looks good on that Commodore.
Last time I looked, Troy Sipple was running a Mustang. So we should be pretty safe there. Of course. Just reminds me, going into that spreadsheet, that if you haven't got check the entry list, the entries are just about full up for this season. I've just missed a little one in front here, I think. Anyway,
Sort of smoke
for it. Yeah, it was JT. Where are we? How's Anita going? I was back here for a reason. Anita under a bit of pressure from Shelton.
So is that Greg recovering from that spin?
Yep. Greg down 4 spots. So Lachlan into the lane for his stop. So this group here are a bit racy with Marsh, Buckland, Shelton. And gets the move out wide. So these guys here quite racy. Anita about to get a move on Marshy. Gets it done.
Lots of respect.
Yeah, some nice driving there. Might just jump back up to Watson for a minute. He's still under pressure from Boyce. So Boyce, you're trying to hang on here. These guys have cleared out from Munday, which is the interesting thing. A little bit of lap traffic coming out behind them. And Matty Munday's now 6 seconds back from Boyce. So that is huge in terms of championship. And we might just drop back to that Buckland-Shelton battle.
Foreshadowing.
Baldock getting into the back of it now as well. Baldock right at the back here with great view of what's going on in front. Over the ridge, you can hear how hard it is around this place. We'll come back to that in a second. Jump up the front here as I come down the straight. Oh, Anita loses it. And a shortcut taken by Shelton. And an incident with Marsh. Baldock sneaks through. So does... So a couple sneaking through there. Just going to stick with Greg for a second. Greg gets a bit loose now down into here. Manages to hang on. It allows Baldock past. And Adam St. John's going to have a look here too, I think.
Why has Greg got my picture up?
It'd be Greg. Right, shift up. And field spread out a little bit at the moment. Starting to see this settle in. Might have check out Daniel Schaefer. Daniel's sitting in 5th at the moment. He's up 1 spot. Got Phil Whiting behind. Phil having a cracker of a drive. Might just stay on board here, do a lap.
This won't hurt Ross's championship points at all.
No, not sitting in 2nd. It's knocked on the door of the podium. Still got a fair bit of distance to deliver though. Only about a quarter of the way through the race. Coming down. Oh, keep it off the yellow curb. Nicely done. Great drive. Phil Whiting doing very well to nurse the car around, looking after the tyres.
And this is a great shot to ask the question. How many logos are there going to be in the Camaro and Jet 3 on the dash?
Don't know.
About 100.
Won't be those two. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Well, I hope there's a lot because it might help, annoy people with their frame rates.
Just love it. You hear the car get loose over the crest there. This is a big move from Whiting.
He had a big look.
Had a big look. Again, those different lines up into Portimão.
Yep.
The interesting thing is Munday now is coming under pressure from Schaefer.
biscuit.
As you ran Watson and Boyce in the lanes, in comes Munday as well. So Schaefer gets across the line for a 1. Gets the bonus point. New race leader. Hayes stays out as well.
The lap 14, is that right on the fuel limit, or is it still?
I think
lap 16 from memory.
Yeah, I think 14's just split, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that reminds me. Yeah, so 14's that makes sense. 14's the even split. I think 16 or 17 was the fuel window.
The tide dig on the circuit was quite high. As thought we had a visitor.
Yeah, there's nothing to see here. Move along. It's a fun fact, the curbs at this track are the highest curbs in iRacing.
Yeah, I'd believe that.
And I'm a massive fan of high curbs as opposed to off tracks to keep the cars on track.
Mm. So Brad Hayes, Schaefer, was he come in this time by? We'll see in a minute as he sweeps around Sarges.
The question is, though, after they stand Adelaide on the weekend, are they going to put the tyre bundles on the front first chicane?
Interesting to see what they do there.
I don't think they will, but it would be great if they actually scan the old F1 circuit as well.
As Schaefer heads in, Hayes now takes the extra bonus point. A few boys getting that bonus point ticked off as well.
So I got a question, a rules question for a friend, John. If you're in split 3, can you join the split 1 Zoom feed to get a bonus point?
No. And I think the rules state split 1.
Just wondering.
Ah, bugger. I was going to try it too.
All we could do is do a bonus point for joining the group chat where everyone can just yell at each other.
I guess you could record a Zoom feed.
That'd be quite funny. Yeah, I didn't realise that was a thing, to be honest.
The bonus point for the Zoom feed?
Yeah.
No, it was a thing. Yeah, it came from the NTE series, where the concept came from, where drivers got bonus points. So the idea was to adopt it into this league and see what happens with it. As Mr. Reg James has joined it. How are you, Reg?
I'm fantastic. Join yourself.
Well, not too bad for a Monday night.
Hey, Reg.
Jump back to Mr.
Got the light on. Thought I'd pop in for a coffee.
Well, I was hoping to have found the NFL Monday Night Football theme to liven everything up, but I couldn't find it at the short notice I had to get organised tonight.
Probably could have found something for you.
Monday Night Vets.
You sorted out your new mic, or are you on the old one?
No, I'm going to. This is on the other computer, so this mic should be
That's an
a
off track.
little less echoey.
Yep.
Load out. That's the question.
Hayes is in the pits now, so you Ren about to take his position back. Whiting driving very well this evening.
Definitely putting the pressure on.
Definitely putting the pressure on.
Jeff's doing a great job to ignore it as best as possible.
So, Mr. VG36, if you're still there and you want to know more, jump on our Discord channel, have a look. Everything you need to know is there. As Mr. Ross Watson's joined us, the man sitting in P2 at the moment. How are you, Ross? Hayes in the lane now as well. Good little battle here.
Track,
Another one there. A few racking up in this spot.
I reckon. So easy to do.
Well, these boys here battling quite hard. Wilbo knocking on the door of Whiting. Sanford just in front of these guys. Of course, Sanford started up the rear of grid. He's made his pit stop as well. He did it early on lap 4, did a massive undercut. And has got himself up into 7th, up 22 spots. As we'll get the ticker tape going as well.
Pretty interesting. I thought for about that. About half of that really, that I could put pressure on Russell, but yeah, nah, he drove out of my life.
And a little bit of a lock up there, and they get through that one all right. Wilbo tucks up behind still. So these boys here having a great little battle. Sanford now under pressure.
Quite a good track what you got into it, eh?
Yeah, it was, Ross. Once you got that rhythm right. Of course, Sanford here with older tyres. Great move, Wilbo Case for the look as well. He's tapped him. No. That has pushed Whiting back.
Very easy to do at that location.
Oh, very interesting move in there. Whiting still going. Car is straight. Very subtle tap in that one. It's going to go back a little bit further. Darren Friend having a little battle with Stephen Luckhurst. And Jason Thomas tucked in behind these boys as well. There's still a couple of battles on track. And another little tap. Oh no. My friend caught out by that one. And of course, here comes Baldock. Pick up the pieces.
Doesn't sound like Dave.
Doesn't sound like Dave at all. Well, it's a tough night in the office for Baldock. Getting turned on lap 1 by Baxter. And it's going to jump back up with Sanford. He's under pressure now from Hayes. Up 22, of course, Jeff started from rear of grid and pitted on lap 4. So an early roll of the dice.
Holding you back there, eh?
Jump on Luckhurst here. Got Baldock in his sights. All right, there you go. Corrected by Baxter. He didn't turn Baldock. Not sure what happened to Baldock. Yeah, we're not sure what happened to Baldock either, to be honest. I did see on the sheet the two names together, so that's all. Bit of a dive.
He allegedly didn't turn Baldock.
Of course, this is the second last race. We'll be using the Gen 2 cars. It goes a little bit wide. Not sure what happened to Luckhurst there. Missed his braking marker. That's allowed Baldock through. Pass of the century, I heard somebody said.
Yeah, I just heard that myself.
Multiple times.
try and miss any lap 1 dive bombs. And got to say, Vaughan Robinson driving very well too. He's one of the big improvers this season. Well, Mr. Baxter's going to tell us exactly what happened on lap 1.
Mr. Baxter.
Dropped him back out again. So, Mr. Baxter, what happened on lap 1?
Oh, look, we all compressed on that corner, and Craig Rose, who apologised to me after he tapped me, a bit like what I tapped you a couple of races ago, John.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And then I held brakes, watched everyone go past, and then, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. Yep, you're right. Keep going. We can hear you.
Yep. And then when I went to turn around, Baldock was turning around as well, so I'm not sure how he got tied up in it, but just wanted to clear my name, Johnny.
You're right, Rob. You're right. Good to have you in here anyway. And you might drag you in. We have Sean Slater. Anyone know why Slater stopped?
Fuel?
Fuel, was it?
Alternator? I don't know, I'm just guessing. Fuel, alternator?
And
He
of
was
course,
crying because Gen 2's going away and he's going to miss the car.
no, we did have him at Long Beach have gear failure with his headset. So I'm wondering whether it's the same. He's turning the wheels now. I don't think there's much happening, but I do know that has brought out the safety car. Blown engine, there we go. Sean's in the chat. Didn't see any smoke, just saw it stop. There we go. That is unlucky, Sean. Very, very, very sad not having a good season out, and we are now seeing a mass run of guys diving into the pits. We've got Munday, Boyce, Schaefer, Wilkinson. Uren still out on track. Hasn't picked up the safety car, so what does he do? Of course, under safety car conditions. Where you're sitting, you pretty much just got to follow what he does, I think.
Yeah. I am from New Zealand, mate. We like our sheep.
Now let's see what Russ does here.
I'm in an hour if I could make my tyres last that long. But lucky one of them was in the chat with Misfits and told me to put my big boy pants on.
So, Ross, you've already done your 2 CPS at this point?
Oh,
I've done one. I'll just bring them up. Pit lap, there we go. So Ross and Russ are stopped on lap 13. And they're diving in now.
Yeah, it's a long way to go on a set of tyres.
Long way to go, but when you've got everyone else behind you rolling the dice, you don't really have much of a choice. That's the thing when you're in this lead. So we'll jump on to Wilbur, onto Glenn Boyce. Glenn Boyce is the leading car on track. Still haven't picked the safety car up yet. So I'm assuming Hayes will dive in as well. This will probably help Sanford out. He's pitted on this one, so he's done relatively well out of this. After that early stop.
few big movers, eh?
Yeah. Jason Thomas is up 18 spots. Vaughan Robinson, he is up, but them two still need to stop. And Wilco in 9th. Sanford up 18. Marsh up 20, but still needs to stop.
This could all change shortly with Gen 3.
Yep.
Because I was looking at the actual Gen 3 regs for the actual real life series to try and work out how iRacing is going to do pit stops. And for sprint rounds, it's 2 rattle guns. For endurance rounds, it's 4 rattle guns in the rules. So if they go with the sprint setup, that will mean it'll be one side then the other. So expect some very long tyre stops. I think the fuel fill rate's a lot longer than Gen 3, Gen 2 as well, because they put restrictors in to
reduce the flow.
Make fuel cover the tyre stops. So we'll have to see how that all plays out.
It's fantastic learning new strategies and stuff. So
massive learning curve next season.
We'll have to follow Hoff's fuel saving strategy.
Well, because the tire model is going to be so different, it's going to play out very, very differently as people sort of find their feet and work out what works.
So the RaceKraft Simulation safety car on track, being driven by Lucas Burt. Lucas back again next season for Split 4 in the safety car.
Yep, his demand was he gets to keep the same one again.
And we didn't say no.
Lucas has provided us with some pretty insane safety car moments throughout the last couple of seasons.
Yes.
Years, I should say.
Is he sure he wants to go back to Watson's club?
No, that was Hoff that day.
That was Hoff.
Yeah, that's Hoffy, but I'd be nervous if I was a safety car there.
I'd be nervous if I was Hoff.
Getting mentioned twice in the broadcast, he's not even on the road.
So it's Watkins Glen Classic boot, which is a whole gamut of different challenges.
So it'll be very interesting going into the outer. In there, coming in at a higher speed and pulling it up.
Especially on the bump.
Make it very interesting, that one.
We'll also find out very quickly how much draft there is in the car.
So from what I can gather, the tyre model that we're getting on this, or for this season for all cars, is going to be different further down the track again.
Yeah, so it's not the time model updates are not for all cars. So the time model updates are coming to GT3 and GTP, everything in the IMSA series. Gen 3 should get it by default because it's a brand new car, so it'll be built with the latest tyre technology. So that's a V9 tyre model, and then the next one, which is the full CFD setup, will come across all cars for V10. So similar move to when they went to NDM. What they've done is they've built tools that help them build tyres per car, because they sort of model each car, each tyre now from. They have a set of parameters that all cars run a tyre model at the time they're built, and it's the parameters that get changed. So what you'll find is that the Gen 3 and the GT3 will use the same tyre model, but they'll have very different parameters fed into that model to describe the behaviour.
So that again will throw another cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, because apparently what we do with one of the main moves, I can't remember if it's the V9 or V10, is going to a much softer compound than currently is modelled in Sim. And then the wets are modelled again separately, so each one is basically hand cut from a tread pattern point of view, if that makes sense, from how much water it displaces and how much the blocks move around and things like that.
They don't allow you to cut the tyres.
No, but the iRacing do when they design it. They have to work out how much tread goes into the tread pattern and all that sort of stuff.
It's going to be interesting. Less aero.
They definitely put a lot of work into it.
Less aero and water. Can go wrong, turn one.
Nothing.
Just add rain.
Definitely staying away from the officials in any GT race.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, I think what I'll do is a few more officials with the rain, get used to it before it actually hits bets.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is I'm seeing a lot of new drivers joining the podcast, going, I'm really keen to give this car a go when it comes to Gen 3, and then they're going, where is everybody? Who actually races this thing? Why is there no one race it? And they go, oh, well, they're all in leagues. Okay, what are the leagues? How do I find them? So,
Give them all a bit of a boost.
because there is no sort of master league directory anymore.
We'll have one more lap under safety car.
Could always start the old debate about if the officials should be running the track leading up to it or after it. That's a good debate to have with a lap to go on the safety car.
Yeah, it is. There's two trains of thought with that, of course. We did do it after there for a while, but there was a lot of pressure put back on to go back to doing it the week of. So, sort of only really gave you Tuesday and Wednesday night to do your officials before your race vets.
But also, you could go a week earlier even.
I wouldn't go a week earlier than that.
Given the weekend and Monday.
Well, this season coming, we're a little bit hamstrung time-wise as well, being the fact that we've got Christmas in the middle and we're having a 2-week break for Christmas this season.
Big change next week with the 3-lap quali as well, John.
Yes, next season, 3-lap quali, that's correct.
As opposed to the 1-lap quality that was changed for this season.
the one-off split 2 race. Put a few boys out.
No, split.
This race too.
This one happened for every split for this race.
Was it?
Yeah. That's a cool one. That's good.
1-lap sprint.
We don't took a better.
I did see what was going on Thursday night, so yeah, I'm not saying anything. No comment.
That's all right. It worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, a bit of fun and games for all, but we got there. So,
Always works.
It was like Adelaide this weekend just been. First race. Just got scrambled up.
yeah.
I think I did well on my 1 quality lap. I got it into 14th, which wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I got a lap in.
Well, poor old Scotty scrambling to get service redone.
Done well.
Of course, I was preoccupied, so. Well,
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
It's the same for everybody though. At the end of the
Well,
day. We all knew before going into the lap, so
That's it.
yeah.
Didn't help me, but I knew.
Well, I just took it a bit more. I was about a second off my best pace because I just took it a bit easy knowing that one off track is into the back.
I actually had a bit of a strategy on that because I waited till about midway through the 10 minutes and went out and done my lap.
Here we go. Safety car pulling away from the field. Sounds a lot better than the GT4 BMW we had last season.
A lot more visible than the Merc you used to have too.
And safety car is in the lane. Russell Uren. He's gone. He has gone.
But why does the visibility of the safety car matter, Rob?
What's that?
Why does the visibility of the safety car matter?
It doesn't.
Memories. It's all memories.
Doesn't make it scrap it.
What's a bigger concern is the car that's parked next to it.
The car or the driver?
Right, back underway.
Russ going off track straight away.
Yeah, I used one. Russell
And-
got the jump on me, so I tried to carry speed through. Really got the Mustang getting in the face.
Some moves going on already, a bit further down the pack. Matty Munday sitting in 5th at the moment. He's got Vaughan Robinson, still needs to make his next stop. And Hayes having a little bit of a look there. And Wilkinson in the mix. And Sanford. Of course, now on the same tyre strategy as everybody else.
What a call coming, really. I don't know.
It's managed to jump him up 20 spots, so he's worked out quite well. And let's have a look where... Two good battle packs in the middle here. Getting some interesting lines in the turn one. A little bit further back, Darren Friendly's dropped off the pack a little bit here. Not sure what's happened there. And that's Hayes in trouble. He's managed to get himself going, but he's dropped down 5, 6 spots, 7 spots. It's not great for him. Jump back up. Whiting now. He's trying to work out how to get past. And back down the hill. Up into 13. He has a look up the inside of Robinson. Let's go a little bit further back. Neil Waters in the thick of the battle here. Lachlan behind, Shelton in front. Let's keep an eye on this battle pack for a second. Neil probably hoping to sit a little bit higher in terms of the championship standings. They're trying to work out a way to get past Shelton here. They're doing relatively well. Of course, big pack in front of these boys as well with Hayes, Holly, Baxter in the mix here.
Got 2 white Mustangs as well.
I had to make up 20 places from the back to get back up here.
No.
I don't know how I did it. I think a clear air was pretty important. I think because I got in on lap 2, and then I was able to just run my pace without any interference or worry. And I think that pace helped jumping up people in the pits.
Probably saved your tyres too.
Yeah. So I think clear air was pretty powerful.
Yeah, I had plenty of clear air and still didn't get anything.
Of course, a big shout out to Scotty McKeon from Split 1 at his 200th race on Thursday night.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Fantastic effort.
I think only the second person to tick over that, I believe.
Third.
Third, there we go.
Yeah. JB obviously number 1.
Yeah,
Darren Goosey.
Goosey, yeah.
Second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The,
fantastic effort.
the take 'em all terror. Hey, Wilco here, trying to hang on to the back of Munday. Lap 27. Just going to quickly jump on John Lee, back with us this week. So John's been away the last first bit of the season, back with us, which is great to see.
He's still a bit sore, but he's getting there.
He's getting there. That was our Lachlan coming back on the track there in the background.
Great qualifying effort from John.
Yeah, you did well.
Pulled out and pulled tyres, I guess.
Yeah, these boys still battling away. I've got to fix up a logo there for that, I think. Let's see if I can do that now. I'll just notice something. Three wide, what can go wrong here?
That's when you catch your car at just the wrong time.
Riding a little bit deep in there, caught out again.
Oh, don't worry.
We're still fairly well bunched up, this group. Just going to jump back on John for 1 second. Yep, problem solved. Back onto my mate Pato. He's in the thick of this group. We're looking for now on lap. Let's start lap 29. Jeff Sanford. He's doing really well, up 21 spots in 8th. Managed to get himself a little bit clear of some of these boys around him. Whiting having another look, shows his nose. He's going to get up the inside this time. No. Up with Sanford. He's just in front of these guys. Glenn Wilbo doing well too. He's up 11 spots into 7th, just in front of these lads. And great little battle here. Baxter in the thick of it. What are we thinking at this stage, Rob? Yeah, I think he's...
I was just happy. I was happy to be back up where I was after, being at the back and trying to keep it safe. I actually got 10 instant points on that first lap with that tyre up, and only got 2 for the rest of the race. So it was like, yeah, let's not get up to the old 17, and if someone goes past me, that's okay.
Yep.
Just sort of keep going. I think a couple of guys went past me, then they went off the track. I got back in front of them again. So overall, I was pleased with what happened, but in being able to get back into this position, we'll see what happens in the rest of the race.
Well, 15 laps to go. This time by on the stripe. Waters battling quite heavily behind with his teammate Dave Holly. Will we see some player one action?
About half of the first one for them.
Waters looking a bit racy here. Line defended quite well by Holly.
I wasn't even looking about what was going on behind. So. It's good to see it actually now. Yeah, it was. I was just concentrate on, you know, Thomas in front and keeping my lines.
Catch straight up the corner too, so there's help me a bit.
There's still plenty of action. That boy might just jump up a bit further forward.
Oh, what happened there?
It's changed too quick. Missed it. So back on Monday.
We'll go chasing him.
We'll go right on his heels here. Monday's got to make up a few spots here if he wants to lay claim for the title. Has driven well this season.
He has.
Oh, that opens the door up again. That'll be a 1X as well. The field's spreading out. He hasn't cleared out as much as he did the first time though. Only sitting at 4 seconds.
Interested enough he was saving tyres. I was trying to. I was waiting for Glenn to catch me.
Just jump back on here with Dave Holly. Him and Neil Waters still going hard at it. Rig. Car out wide, not sure who that is. It's breaking his concentration. That's Holly off. That's allowed Waters through.
Jason Thomas is the one who went off the front.
Just broke his concentration, I think. And allowed a few movers to come in. So a little bit disappointing. Dave would have been hoping to be a little bit higher up. It's going to go back a little bit further. Braden O'Loughlin putting some moves on. He passed Marsh and Lee. The lap's starting to tickle down now. Wilco still tucked up behind. Goes a little bit deeper into the corner. Still tucked up behind Munday. Monday would be looking not to lose any more positions. Boyce hoping Munday will lose a couple more positions. Driving well. It's pulled away a little bit from Wilco here. It's going to go back to Waters. Have a look how he's getting on. He's got Shelton very racy behind. Luckhurst trying to get involved in this as well. Side by side action. A little bit of rubbing. And Shelton sneaks through by the looks.
Have a look.
Great comeback there from Neil. Greg now coming back at him.
Fantastic side-by-side racing.
It is. Of course, this has brought Luckhurst and Thomas back into the battle. And Wilkinson's closed the gap up again. Let's stave this for a second.
Beautiful.
Great driving.
Geez, that's good to watch.
No, maybe this is split 4.
Yeah.
Great driving.
Yeah.
Jump back up here. Wilco's back on the back of Munday. A good run out of the last corner. Munday defends. Wilkinson side by side. Gets his nose in front here. Munday still there. Don't think he's going to get the job done. Definitely making Munday work for turn 1.
Nice attempt, but as soon as he lost the inside run, he was done.
It's because he wasn't locked on.
Or maybe he was locked onto the wrong thing.
Possibly.
A little bit of a lock up from Munday there. Up into Portimão. Nice line from Wilkinson. Changes early to prevent the wheel spin. It's Wilkinson, probably sick of seeing red at this stage. And a little bit further back this time. Just going to jump back on Dave Holly. And you just saw Luckhurst on the grass there. That's allowed Holly and Thomas to get through. The field's starting to spread out a little bit here. Go back to this battle here. This battle's got major ramifications for the championship. He ran comfortably 5.5 seconds ahead of Watson at this stage. Watson nearly 2 seconds up the road from Boyce. Schaefer a further 7 seconds back in 4th, and then this battle here. Matty Munday sitting 2nd in the championship, fighting over 5th and 6th.
course, any pressure that he's under at the moment is just going to be tenfold next week, or this week coming up when we're at Bathurst and you can't pop the round. So
Yes, and of course, for the likes of you, Ren, that will build pressure as well. Can't stuff
Yeah.
up. Okay, driving well here. It's going to drop back onto Holly again for a minute. The other great battle. Of course, Jeff Thomas up 11 spots here. So these laps ticking down. Only 7 laps to go. Of course, Luke Ullman doesn't have the power of the Holden. That's someone in front there. Not sure who that was. Neil Waters has come back to these boys a little bit. Of course, not just the end of the Gen 2s this week, it's also the end of Holden in our series.
Yippee. Bring on Toyota.
Stop dancing, Mark. Stop it.
And he's going to go check on that Munday battle again.
So what? Which mark are people thinking of? Which car are they thinking of this stage? Mark, you're also thinking Mustang.
Oh yeah, I'm just not going to say anything.
I haven't even had to think about it.
I think I'll use the LPG guzzler until the Toyota turns up.
Yep, I'll be joining Toyota till once they join up.
Oh, they both cars, both Fords and Holdens. So best comment I ever had was my VL Commodore because Holden didn't make it.
Yep, the 3-litre turbo.
Not the turbo. Mate of mine had a turbo wagon. That was a beast. Before it got nicked. But yeah, it's. I think I'll probably. So I think the Camaro just looks more aggressive, so I'll probably go that way at this stage. But we'll see. We hop it.
Do you see it wrapped in the green mist? It's slippery.
So you don't think it's going to be a, if you're driving a Holden, you go straight into GM, you think it'll be a switch over to the Mustang, or will people?
Oh, I think there'll be
loyal to the originals.
No, I think there's a group of people that feel very. No, the fact that Holden stepped away like they did. You know, well, GMH stepped away from Australia like they did with the Holden brand. I think there's quite a few people that, you know, when we move from these cars, we'll go, well, what's a Camaro? That's not like.
Interesting. Are you able to capture the data now of the cohort and then do some stats when it changes? Might be some interesting insights.
Would be.
Someone like Bruce would be able to do that, wouldn't they?
It's
Oh,
hard
we've
because
got
you
it.
get some guys that
Don't know.
track they'll race, one track they'll race the Mustang, one track they'll race the Commodore at the moment. So it would be hard to.
Hard to pick it there.
I just can't see myself driving a Ford.
And then you've got that group of people as
Very
well.
well. Yep. I did hear Toyota said there.
Bring on the Toyotas.
Yeah.
The only reason I drove a Ford is it closed my brother in his name. He's got a collection of Holden memorabilia and everything like that. He's staunched on it. So I went for the Mercedes when the Mercedes was in. I went for the Volvo when the Volvo was in, just to
Tear him up.
annoy him. Yeah, worked every time.
So the real big question though is, are the cars going to be it's identical like your current cars, or are they going to be two separate cars?
That's a different cars, instead of blended.
You'd hope so.
I think it's going to be separate.
But no, it's going to catch fire as well.
So just with a different shell.
Yeah, I think knowing how software developers think, it's easier just to have one car. Because as soon as you have two, you've got to start popping.
Helps with parity.
Hmm.
Have we going down that track?
Oh, we
Well,
go
if you
down
have
that
if
track,
you have two
but no
different
hope.
cars, you have to, because the two different cars can need two different setups.
Be similar to what it is now, because the setups work on both cars.
Exactly.
Just less error.
I think if you see from the super formulas, the fact that there's two super formulas that are
A bit wide there from Neil.
I just don't understand why they would change the car model.
Right, it'll be alright once the Toyotas come in.
They're going to be used to
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how a third manufacturer changes up the series.
Pretty big, deep pocket manufacturer too.
Yeah, they come with that.
Doing what the results as well. So.
Yeah, if they're not getting that, they leave as quick as they come. So that's the downside to it. Waters here, managing to hold off Thomas. This is a great little battle group with Holly in the background here. Luckhurst hanging on.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure what General Motors gets from investing in the series, to be honest. Because I see a whole lot of Mustangs on the streets, but I don't see many Chevs at all.
Can't actually buy the ship. Look, Camaro can.
I don't think
You
you
could for a while.
yeah, can't anymore.
Way overpriced when it was available anyway, so.
Mm.
Apparently, it's one of the worst
Oh,
cars in
yeah.
America for depreciation. It was an awful lot.
Yeah, Ford definitely jumped them over there, and then developing the GT3 as well. Smart move.
Could that be one of the reasons why supercars are so keen to get another manufacturing, because there's
Let's quickly jump here. Sanford under a bit of pressure from Hayes.
Because at the end of the day, manufacturing volume is based on selling cars.
But gone are the days where, what was it? Win on Sunday,
Sell on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all literally drunk on manufacturers' money. Those days gone.
Yep.
But back
That's
in
good.
it wasn't the actual the manufacturers weren't the ones that were racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Holden dealers team.
Yep.
Alan Moffat's team, I think, was fun playing with this as well.
apparently Scotty Parents. Scotty Parents is
Well,
I thought it was the other way around, but
Oh, Waters is in trouble. There's two player one cars involved in this. And spun.
speaking of smoke,
Oh, back to the racing, back to the racing.
That is a big blow to Waters.
who spun the team boss?
I think Team Boss spun the Team Boss. Might have spun himself. I think Holly might have been involved in that as well, but that's Waters shuffled all the way back to 23rd now. That is big for the top 5 part of the championship as well. Lucky this one's still a drop round. Wilco now back up on Monday.
that's devastating though. 2 laps to go.
Mm.
Such a hard track to get to that point and still be in the half a shot finish. where he was, and then yeah.
Everyone's in a certain race in Adelaide on the weekend.
He had a couple more laps. He did drive well.
Okay, doing everything right, but getting past.
Good little battle, this one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sanford at the moment in 7th behind these guys, 3 seconds back, up 22 spots, started rear grid, but has had a good day out as we're now on the penultimate lap.
A track like this, 22 spots, doesn't matter how you start at the back of the grid, that's an amazing effort.
It is. Don't think you failed, Wilco. I think you're running in 6th, mate. That's not what I'd call a fail at this stage of the season.
Not on this track.
Hmm.
100 other drivers across the league that'd be happy to be in 6th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good evening, Mr. Stewart.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Michael, come here, mate.
Hey, Michael. Hey. Looking every which way.
Any of the students doing well?
I've got a few. Ross Watson sitting in 2nd, Daniel Schaefer in 4th. Jeff Sanford in 7th, started rear grid, up 22 spots.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, tries the wide line this time coming out of Portimão. And doesn't get it done. This battle is going to go to the last lap.
Needs to get a really good exit out of this last corner.
As he ran, doing quite well. Boyce's gap's closed up a fair bit as well. We're going to jump up with Boyce. He's in a little bit of traffic. Ross having to battle this one out. They got you with traffic there, Ross?
Yeah, he sort of helped me out on that one. But I did try to save some tyres, so I expected Glenn to come chase me down.
Driving well. Keep an eye out on the Boyce name. Glenn's young fella, doing very well in cadet karts. About to go in the juniors next season. Drives as good as his old man. He'll be very, very fast racer. Brad Hastings has made somewhere around 20 passes. He's done very well to get himself back up to 8th. As we jump on board with this fella. Comes around through Sarge for the final time. And coming across and take another victory.
Very heels with that boy.
Yeah, drove very well again by the looks. Russell, you ran. Well done. Ross Watson home in P2 just from Boise. Boise in P3. And Daniel Schaefer, another great top 5 drive, coming across the line in 4th. Then the big battle behind Munday and Wilkinson and Sanford. That will be 5th, 6th and 7th. Brad Hayes, great result, get himself home in 8th. 9th is Phil Whiting. Great drive from Phil, involved in a lot early, but managed to get himself into the top 10. And then rounding out the top 10, Glenn Wilbo from Shane Patterson, right behind him. Rob Baxter nearly got them all back. Only one down in 12. Jason Thomas up 12 in 13th. Dave Holly in 14th. And Baldock will be quite happy, up 6 spots in 15th, particularly after being backwards in lap 1. Charlton will be 16. 17 will be Braden O'Loughlin, Timmy Hall, Tim Vermey, and Marshy will round out our top 20. That one. So that is pretty good, interesting result there. A few guys drove really well. I think before we talk to the boys on the podium, we might just start with the drive of the day, guys. Who do you think?
Sanford, didn't it?
Reckon Sanford?
Yeah, I'd say Sanford.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll just change the name. We will go with, of course, Mr. Sanford. And look at that. Gotta love the magic of graphics. There we go. Mr. Sanford, our Chubby Buns driver of the day. Well done, Jeff.
Well done.
Congratulations on that one, mate. You've done very, very well to get yourself up the order that far. And she'd be pretty chuffed with that. He loved the circuit. It was super hard. So that is our Chubby Buns out of the way. And then the next one we need to talk about is Russell Uren on the podium. And I haven't spoken to Russell at all, but I know he'd be pretty happy with that one. He'd be looking forward to this week's race when we get into Bathurst. And of course, he would like to thank Wodonga Carts and Parts, Chubby Buns, Burgers, Super Cheap Auto, Rebel Sports, BCF, MacPack, the Pool Guys in Adelaide, Barilla Cabinets, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, Warboys Motorsport, Send It, Don't Bend It, and Amp Air. And yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for racing, Race Control, Broadcast, everybody out in the chat. And of course, the man in second was Mr. Ross Watson. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, Ross?
Yeah, Festive Foods, PG Panel and Paint, Phoenix Driver Development, obviously everyone involved with the vets, from race control to the guys behind the scene, and all the competitors. An awesome series to be a part of.
Too easy. And of course, Glenn Boyce rounded out our podium in third. Let's take the opportunity to have a look at the points going into the final round. Of course, bearing in mind next week, no drop round. So this is going to be very interesting. And leading the series on 12:41 is Russell Uren. He is 30 points ahead of Matty Munday. So saying that he would need to be 15 places behind Munday. So, if he has an incident, he's going to have to work hard to fight back. Munday is only 1 point ahead of Glenn Boyce. So the battle for second and third on the podium there, still up for grabs. The big mover from tonight, Jeff Sanford. He's only 28 points off the podium. So just remember that one in the sense that if Munday or Boyce have an incident, Sanford will get himself a podium position. Phil Whiting is further 22 points back, sitting in fifth. So if Boyce was relegation promotion, we could talk about up to 5. So if we do go the full 5, Whiting and Watson will be fighting for that promotion position along with Van Ree. Holly is another one who will be in that gap. So it gets very tight when we go 11:46, 11:45, 11:38, 11:37, and 11:36. So the top 10 is by no means decided at this stage. Wilkinson can still get himself in there with a good result. So can Waters, even though it's a little bit further back. But the order of the top 10 is far from decided. And whoever's going to sit in that 5th spot for that promotion relegation is still undecided as well. So a lot to play for, boys.
But yeah, it's wide open. It's awesome coming into the last one and at Bathurst.
Cracker round next round.
And of course, it is also the Enduro as well. So it's going to be an absolute cracker. And I'd recommend you don't miss this one. We will be back again with the broadcast on Friday night. So you can lock and load that one in. And I think the racing on Thursday night, we are going to see some cracking driving. It is one of the ultimate circuits in the world to race at. 300k enduro starts to bring in the fatigue element to racing as well. These boys have been battled hard over 10 rounds, but there's a championship in places up for grabs. I think it's going to be exciting.
Gonna be a fitting send off for this gen car.
That's the other side of it as well. It is the end of an era here at V8 Vets. Been running this car for a very long time and looking forward to the change there.
Well, I think everyone's really excited about it. Tonight in coaching, we had more people in session than ever before, so it was good to see. So I think everybody wants to do their best.
I think it's going to be good. Looking
The
forward to it.
coaching, the coaching's awesome too. I must say,
Yeah.
it's helped me out.
Yeah. On that note, being a Monday night, I'll wrap this up pretty quick. I'll start off by thanking Bruce, Mark, Stewie, Reg, the better looking Baxter, and Ross Watson for jumping in and giving me a hand in here. Huge thank you to our race control teams. We are still looking, I think, for one race controller for next season. So we just about got everything filled up in that space. If you haven't got your entries are all, if you haven't got your entries in, they will be closing very shortly. There's already 190 on the list, so make sure you do get in so you don't miss out. If you haven't paid your subs, get them in as well. If you haven't accepted your league invite, get that done as well. That's plenty of work in the background being done by admin to sort that out. I want to say a huge thank you again to our committee group. Plenty of work goes on in the background, doing things from servers to our social media to creating all the wonderful graphics we use. Without those people, we wouldn't get done what we do here. And of course, a huge thank you to all the drivers and a huge thank you to everybody out in watching this evening. It's been good numbers again, even though we're on a Monday night, and some great comments in the chat as well. So on that note, we'll wrap it up and we will see everybody again at the end of the week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you. See ya.
Yeah, boys.
Yeah,
We'll be right back. introducing the RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.